Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Purple Ponderings with Pankaj. Today we have with us Sanjay Poojary from Saya Life. I've known Sanjay now for almost 6 months and it's been a great partnership so far with him. And so we're looking forward to deeper dive with Sanjay and Saya Life. So Sanjay, just to begin, do you want to share a little bit about your background and mention one thing that most people may not know about you?
Yeah, and thanks for the introduction. I'm Sanjay Poojary. I'm the CEO and founder at Saya Life. A little background, I think I've been in the technology field for a little over 18 years now, working with big companies like Cisco, working at Greenwave as a startup company, a lot of experience in IoT, and taking all of that learning and applying it to something that really matters. So if you're looking at IoT around us, for the most part, it's something to make your life easier, smart homes, connected homes, and all of those things. I'm trying to take that into industrial IoT and create a sensor network, trying to create value for things like energy, water, gas, those types of applications, and bringing that knowledge which is missing, because there are a lot of stakeholders that benefit from this knowledge, and that's what we're trying to solve.
Awesome. Well, you didn't answer the question about one thing that viewers don't know about you.
Well, a lot of viewers probably don't know me at all, but and some of them who know me know that I'm an avid sportsman too. I like to play a lot of sports. Now I don't get that much time to do that, but that's what I like to play sports. I think some of my folks close to me know I played cricket. I play tennis. I like to spend my time golfing as well at times. So
yeah, that's good, because I share that with you, because I really think that playing sports is so important, because that's the only one thing that you do which teaches you how to lose and how to come back and have another opportunity to not lose.
Yeah,
right?
that's the only thing. That's the only thing that teaches you more when you lose. You learn a lot more about yourself when you lose in sports, and you realize that you need to do more in order to get to the next level. So yeah,
absolutely. So my next question, actually, you started to answer it in your introduction itself, which was wanted you to just share your perspective about IoT. I mean, you mentioned your time at Cisco and Greenwave, etc. So you've got a little bit probably a different perspective on the technology or the emerging technology itself. So you want to just expand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're looking at Internet of Things, it started off by talking about how you can connect devices to the network, to the cloud, and you're able to monitor and check information. So I think it's evolved from the real value from IoT is not, it's not Internet of Things, it's Internet of connected things providing meaningful data. So it's the Internet of data. You need to be able to make meaningful information from all the data that you're able to collect from these devices. So things that are out there, like for example, you have water entering a building, right? It's entering in a pressurized pipe. So there's a lot of information available that's missing about that water, which a lot of different stakeholders could be interested in. Right? So if you're looking at insurance companies, they are insuring risk related to water coming into that building in a pressurized pipe. If you're looking at utility companies, they monetize how much, based on how much water you're using in that building. Tenants, they have to pay the bill. Property owners, they manage their risks as well. They want to make sure their building is efficient and they're able to have give a good experience to their tenants. So overall, there are so many different stakeholders. And when you're talking about Internet of Things, it's about the ability to collect meaningful information from these sensors that you deploy and provide actionable data to these stakeholders so that they can make better decisions on what they have to do to improve their bottom line or improve their lives or improve their overall experience in that space. And that can relate to water, energy, gas. It can relate to so many different things when you're talking about building a sensor network for industrial applications.
Got it. So, as we talk a lot about IoT in the context of properties, right? Commercial properties, homes, single-family homes, condos, etc. And I know you've been active in this area as well as I've been, but just from your perspective, what do you think are, some opportunities and also some challenges in making IoT mainstream in this context?
Yeah, I think building technologies has evolved at a very slow pace. bringing in high-tech ways of doing things in large buildings or property, it's difficult. But prop tech is picking up now. There's a lot of awareness. There are a lot of builders who are looking to integrate some of these technologies into their original plan for development. And there's also incentives coming from service providers, the utilities, the insurance companies. So it has to be a collective effort from all the different stakeholders. What the challenge that we were facing initially is everybody wants to see this happen. Like the insurance company wants to reduce claims, utility company wants to reduce the overall water footprint, reduce risk, reduce non-revenue flow of water, save energy. They have all these great goals. But at the end of the day, the onus to pay for all of these things is on the end user, right? And that is a little difficult to be able to justify in the big picture, because what incentives does this end user have to actually do all of the things we are talking about, right? So bringing a collective response to this problem by getting all of these stakeholders involved and contributing in some way is a huge opportunity for everybody. And the challenge is how to distribute that cost so that this opportunity comes with some cost, and that cost needs to be evenly distributed amongst all the different stakeholders to make it effective. So that's what I've seen in the industry.
Would you say that is what is the biggest hurdle today in terms of mainstream adoption?
I believe so. I believe so because if you're looking at regulations that are coming from the city, from the utility in Los Angeles, for example, so sub-metering is mandated, and it's just fair that tenants just pay for what they're using, how much water they're using. And the property owner needs to know if there is a problem somewhere, and the tenants need to know if there is a leak somewhere, because they don't want to be paying for a faulty pipe, right? They don't want to pay the water bill if the water is leaking. So it's just, in a big picture, it's just fair to have these things installed and working correctly with the right kind of information to the right stakeholder, right? So the tenants should know how much water they're using, where they're using it. They should have some kind of an information telling them what their bill is going to be. All these technology exists today. It's just a matter of implementing it and giving them that information so that they feel good about paying their water bill, and also feel good about participating in the overall conservation efforts or trying to be more aware about this important resource, talking in context of water. It's the same thing with energy and other things out there. But I think it's important that this awareness is there and all the stakeholders get involved as well.
Yeah, no, I think agree with you. As we've also felt and we've almost realized that the industry needs someone to step in and bridge that gap, right? You've got property owners and solution device owners expecting the insurance industry to play a role, and the insurance industry is not yet there yet, because I believe the core product was designed for a risk transfer. So for the event to take place first and then think about prevention, versus what we need is almost a flipped out business model, which thinks prevention first and then followed by risk transfer. So we're very excited to actually partner with Sanjay in what we're trying to do. We think we're sort of leading the way here with the industry. So we'll see how that goes. But I agree with you. I think having the opportunity to use insurance premium as a financing vehicle, I think is the right kind of incentive to think about aligning the interests of all the stakeholders that we just mentioned. So hopefully we will all get there. So in terms of Saya Life, Sanjay, I know you've been doing this for a few years. I wanted to ask you, what's been the proudest achievement for you and the biggest learning so far in your journey?
So let me split this into two parts, right? So in terms of achievements, I think it has been a tough ride. And as you know, entrepreneurship, starting a company, going from one stage to another, it's not easy, especially when you're trying to balance between building your business and also trying to raise money and trying to get the right kind of people involved and taking your business from one level to another, pivoting at the right time, making all the mistakes that you need to make and not making a big one so that you fall flat on your face. So there's a lot of challenges. I think some of the proud moments, and there are several, I think we have been able to go through a lot of difficulty and still get to the level where we are an enterprise grade solution, where we can compete with the best in the industry with the best in class solution that we have out there. And we have the solution deployed for a couple of years now without any issues in a lot of different buildings. The feedback that we get from our customer about how they're benefiting from our solution is something that gives us a lot of pride. We pride ourselves the fact that we provide a complete one-stop solution for smaller builders. So anybody below 50 units, we can go all the way from providing the solution, programming everything, a one-step install with our installer app. We also have billing integrated in the platform itself so that the property owner manager can bill his tenants. Tenants can pay their bill automatically. So a lot of features all integrated into a single package. We're also proud to be able to certify our app, which is now a remote reader. That means the property owner doesn't have to buy a separate piece of hardware. So a lot of challenging milestones that we have been able to achieve with a relatively small team with a limited amount of funding. So as you know, Pankaj, you're raising money. It's a challenge to try to do that. So it's a full-time job. So we have to kind of balance between really scaling our business and also trying to raise money. So every day is a challenge. It's a new challenge. It's a new learning. So what I feel is what we have learned and what we have done to get to this point is not enough to get to the next level. So it's a continuous learning process for everybody. So I think that's how it is. And each and every member in the team is a leader on their own, in their own area. So that's what we pride on our team as well. I think I have a lot of faith in my team to get us to the next level.
Got it. So it sounds like there's a lot to be proud of and a lot of learning and new learnings that are happening in your world, which is not surprising. Yeah, fundraising is a whole other topic by itself. I'll probably write a book or a blog or something about just that, because I think it's been an interesting learning journey for me as well. But just switching gears now in terms of, I know that you have only 24 hours in a day and you are, engaged in work activities all day long. But what do you do to decompress? What do you do to recharge yourself? What do you read? Any content? Anybody that you follow on social media, etc.?
In terms of reading, I'm trying to just constantly improve my knowledge in terms of a lot of different aspects of the business. We are part of this new chip accelerator at the moment, and it's an online accelerator with online content. It covers everything from running your business, marketing strategies, sales, finance, all of these things. So I have 2 hours a day set aside for that. And then that's what I do, when everybody's sleeping at night, so I can sit down and quietly do my reading. But other than that, I do like to spend at least 1 hour, some kind of exercise, either running, go for a walk, or do some yoga, whatever that keeps me mentally balanced. So not too much that's going to tire me out, but just enough to keep me going. I try to be consistent with that, so it helps.
Yeah. No, I think that mental freshness is so important. So I think on that topic, my last question before we go into a rapid fire round is, in this podcast, we try to get different kinds of interesting guests on the show who provide different perspectives and somewhat connected to the topic of emerging technologies and IoT and insurance. Who do you want to hear from, you think you'll benefit from in a future episode of this podcast?
I think you should get people from one of these service provider stakeholders that I'm talking about, so we can get insights on what are they excited about, with prop tech and IoT, and what are the challenges and why, what is their resistance, what is stopping them from doing it, taking an initiative and doing all of these things we're talking about today. So I think
when you say service provider, I'm sorry, who is that? The insurance company?
Yeah, the insurance or the utility, or some of these stakeholders, and also try to get in, like we are going through some of these exercises together, right? Talking to some of our customers, property owners, what is their reluctance to do certain things? Everybody has something that gives them a problem at night, keeps them awake. So we need to find out what that problem is.
You just gave me a great idea, Sanjay. Maybe we get one of the property owners and their broker.
There you go.
Episode of podcast, right? And then we can have a pretty interesting conversation. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Awesome. Well, all right. So then now we get into like a rapid fire round, Sanjay. I'm gonna ask you and give you a couple of options, and you have to do really quickly. You have to tell me which one of those options you like and why. Okay.
I'm going to pass most of them.
No, pass is not an option. There is none of the above option. It is, you have to pick one of the two. So start with an easy one. For example, baseball versus basketball.
Baseball.
Why?
Because I think I feel it's an easier version of cricket.
I shouldn't have asked you cricket or something because it would have been cricket. So I get that. Superman or Spider-Man?
Well, Superman. And Spider-Man, there's not much difference, but yeah, Superman. Because even Superman has, his weaknesses, and he tries to figure out how to overcome some of those things. So I think no matter how big you are, you have weaknesses. You need to figure out how to overcome those weaknesses and struggle to succeed. So that's why.
Got it. Paper books or e-readers?
Well, I've moved on from paper just from a conservation perspective. So I prefer e-readers, online reading.
Golf or tennis?
I like both, but golf is more relaxing. I think you're playing against yourself. So if you don't feel like competing one of those days, you can just swing and feel good.
Got it. In terms of a vacation, Iceland or Hawaii?
I think I've never been to Iceland. Hawaii sounds more fun. So probably Hawaii. Yeah.
Why? And the final one. So Iron Man or Captain America?
I like both of them. So I don't know which one to choose, but okay, Captain America, because it's my son's favorite character too. So I'll pick him.
Actually, I'm going to slip in one last one. Scarlett Johansson or Penelope Cruz?
Tough. Both of them are pretty good actresses. Maybe Penelope Cruz is an actress Penelope Cruz.
Because
I watched more of her movies and I think she's pretty good.
Awesome. So that was a curveball I threw, but you gave a very sensible and rational answer, so that if your wife or girlfriend or partners listens to this podcast, they don't get offended. I've had some guests actually take offense to that particular question, but I just decided you and I have a good enough friendship to.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. No problems there.
Awesome. So with that, we come to an end. Sanjay, any last words before we wrap up?
I think this format that you have is pretty good. I think it's gonna bring awareness to what we're trying to achieve in this space, and hopefully you can get some people involved more on the insurance and even the utility side, and maybe even get people that we know on the property side, so that we get an overall perspective of what's going on, opens up the debate and the discussion. I think that's going to be good for this industry, especially what we're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. So with those words, we come to an end to this episode of Purple Ponderings with Pankaj. Signing off now, and we will be back very soon with another guest. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.